I'd like to suggest that the difference between a child and an adult is that a child sees himself as the center of the world. If I'm a child, I'm prepared to wake up an entire continent if I got a tickle in the back of my throat. If I'm an adult, I understand, or I should understand, that I'm not the center of the universe, that things don't revolve around me, around my self-gratification, and around my self-fulfillment. According to this definition, most of us emotionally are still wearing diapers. An adult realizes that life is no more than a series of opportunities to give, and by giving, I connect to the ultimate giver, to God, by making myself more like Him. Because when the Torah says that man is created in the image of God, it obviously doesn't mean that God has a face, arms, or a white beard. It means that just as God is the ultimate giver, because there's nothing I can give Him in return, He already has everything. So too, I'm created in His image to be a giver. In Parshat Tazria, this week's parsha, the Torah describes an illness called Tzarat. For centuries, Tzarat has been mistranslated into English as leprosy. Now, even a cursory glance at this week's parsha shows that that can't be correct. Leprosy is a highly contagious disease. On the other hand, the Talmud tells us that if something that looked like Tzarat broke out on the skin of a newlywed, the Kohen, who was qualified to diagnose that Tzarat, should delay his diagnosis so that the joy of the wedding shouldn't be spoiled. Now, if Tzarat was really leprosy, allowing someone with this disease to roam loose, rubbing shoulders with all and sundry at a wedding feast would be the equivalent of holding a wedding in the middle of a pandemic. Tzarat was not a physical disease, but a malaise of the spirit. And if we don't see such a disease today, it's because our bodies have become so desensitized to our spiritual states that they can no longer produce symptoms of our spiritual well-being. The principal cause of Tzarat was slander, but the affliction was also a punishment for other forms of antisocial behavior, namely bloodshed, false oaths, immorality, pride, robbery, and selfishness. From the Jewish perspective, the individual does not exist for the benefit of society, nor does society exist for us to fulfill our own needs. It exists as a medium for kindness and caring. When someone demonstrates that he's failed to understand the purpose of society, he has no place in that society until he can cure himself of this failing. And the Torah, therefore, prescribes that he must dwell outside the camp until he returns to being a reflection of the ultimate giver.